Great morning, everybody. My name is Johannes Atlas, and welcome to an incredible episode of Morning Cup of Joe. I'm your morning energizer. To God be the glory. The biggest prison, the world's largest institution of today, is the prison of the mind. And how we are so concerned, how we allow ourselves to be prisoners of opinions. It was Eleanor Roosevelt who said, "You wouldn't be so concerned of what people thought about you if you realized how seldom they do." And taking that into account, when you really think about it, how often are you really thinking about other people and what they're going to do and how, how they may look dumb or how they may, all these what ifs that we think in our mind? How often are you thinking that about somebody else? I'm pretty sure you're not. And yet we are prisoners of opinions. Welcome to another episode of Morning Cup of Joe. Getting into prisoners of opinions today. And how we think of, what if they think this of me? What if they don't like me? And what will they say? And how will they react? All these what if questions. What if it didn't really matter? And how we let other people's opinions control and manipulate our lives. We allow somebody else's thoughts, we allow somebody else's opinion to manipulate how we live our life. And somebody else's opinions will literally dictate the things that we do on a day-to-day basis because we don't want to look stupid, and we want to feel accepted and we want to fit in. The thing is, we're trying to fit in and feel accepted to the wrong groups. And it's like things, oftentimes, we're afraid to try something because we don't want people to think later down the line or to have people later down the line say, "Oh, I told you so." But the thing is, at least you tried. At least you have the courage to try, because some people don't even try, and yet they still have the audacity to have an opinion, to critique you or to criticize you for doing something. And yet, because we hold on to people's opinions, we take our ideas and our dreams to the grave with us. And yet, because you hold on to people's opinions so strongly, you don't even realize it, but your mind is wearing this suit, living here. That's why the Bible says, "Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind." Do not be conformed to this world. Do not be conformed to living mediocre. Do not be conformed to living like everybody else. Do not be conformed to the ideas, to the opinions of other people, because they will dictate how you live your life. Conforming to people's opinions is not the way to live. Conforming and living to everybody else's standards is how so many people end up unhappy, because you're living your life based on somebody else's standards. But what if you were free of somebody else? What if you were free of the opinions of people? What if you were able to be free of the opinions of people? What would that look like for you? To no longer have to bear the weight of what somebody else thought of you. And when you get to do that, you begin to set yourself free, where you no longer have to wear this suit, where you no longer have to live in this place. You begin to set yourself free. Man, I got so tired of living my life conforming to what somebody else thought about me. Those of you that know me in high school, my hand was always in my pocket. I was so concerned of the opinions of other people and how what somebody else thought about me, and so my hand was always in my pocket. Even after I got out of high school, I worked for a few years after high school that I worked. My hand was still always in my pocket because I was so concerned of the opinions. It was that prison. It was this prison that I put myself in. I allowed myself to live in this prison. I'm like, bro, I can't live like this. It's not a way to live. Free yourself of the opinions of other people. When you make the decision, I made the decision in my mind, I decided in my mind that I am no longer going to live according to somebody else's opinion. I'm no longer going to let what I think somebody else is going to think of me. That's the thing, because oftentimes what we think somebody else is going to think is really not what they think, but it's what I think they will think. It was what I thought somebody else is going to think of me that made me keep my hand in my pocket all the time. So make the decision to free yourself. Make the decision to be free of other people's opinions. Because your mind's living here. So let it get free.